What our God cannot do does not exist. My name is Janice, and I am sending this testimony from the United Kingdom. My son, it was on Saturday morning on the 14th, my son woke up early in the morning with pain in his stomach, pain. We didn't know what it was, but he was just crying with pain and he had a temperature. Sunday morning, the same thing again. And when we were looking at him on Sunday, he started walking a kind of funny way. We were not sure what it was. When we looked, we saw that one of the glands in his groin was swollen. Monday morning, early Monday morning, he was in pain again. So I decided, no, 5:30 in the morning, he had to go to see a doctor. The doctor said they need to do tests, but they need to send him to his own doctor. So we went to see his doctor first thing in that same Monday morning about 8 a.m. When we finished, the doctor said, no, it looks like appendix. We need to send him straight onto the children's ward. Send him onto the hospital, onto the children's ward. They were ready for him. They did all their tests. They checked. They said it's not appendix. They were not sure what it was. They needed to do more tests. They did tests and tests and tests. Pastor Jerry, when they did the scans, the doctor called me in a separate room and said, the scans don't look well. From what they see in the lymph nodes, they're really swollen. The way they shape, they have this abnormal shape, the way they clustered together, that is something that they worried about, and it looks like it might be some cancerous thing. So she said, okay, she's going to send it to another children's hospital in Leeds so that they can have a look at it. Pastor Jerry, when she said that, I rejected that one time. When I went home, I went on my computer. I typed, what God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. I type it 3 times. I print it out and I bring it back in the hospital and I put it by my son's bed. And I told him, that is what we're going to stand on. What God cannot do does not exist. The Wednesday, it was that same day we had, oh Lord, show me mercy. They said, we need to go to the other hospital. Go to the other hospital. Pastor Jerry, they put my son on a cancer ward because the doctors believed that this was cancer. And the doctor said the scans tell them what they need to know. All they need just to do a biopsy for them to confirm what it is. The doctor actually looked at me and said, we just need to do the biopsy. We'll confirm what it is, and then we will explain to you what our course of action is. And I remember that morning when we did, oh Lord, show me mercy. Pastor Jerry, you said, what they saw, let them not see it again.
I don't know what your ailment is, what the affliction is. What they saw before, they will not see it again. They will not. Let healing rain fall. Let it wash away every negativity right now, right now.
And that was one of the things that you said, and I stood upon that word. I said, Lord, what they saw, let them not see it again. Pastor Jerry, the next day, Thursday, they had to do the biopsy. They said they're not going to do a scan again. They just want to do the biopsy because they already know what the scan says. They go by what the scan says. I asked the doctor, please, can you step aside for me to talk to my son? My husband and I, we spoke to our son. We prayed. We've been giving him communion. We've been praying. We've been doing all the prayers together. And we told him, look, you in that hospital, in that cancer ward, not for cancer. We are there to pray for the children who have cancer. And Pastor Jerry, that day, even when we were doing the fast in the afternoon prayers, we were there and we were sweeping out cancer from that ward. By Friday evening, the doctor called our home, called my phone, and he said, the results show no cancer whatsoever. Pastor Jerry, you know, when we say, how will we shout? Sometimes we don't even know how to shout. For me, I was just crying. I was like, Lord, we went down on our knees because the doctors were convinced, the surgeons were convinced, all of them were convinced that boy had cancer. But we knew that that wasn't God's report. And we know for sure that what God cannot do does not exist. And my son is home. He's at home, and there's no trace of cancer in his body. No trace of cancer in his body. Because what they saw, God made sure that they would not see it again. What our God cannot do does not exist.